Hello and welcome to another UCL fantasy team selection video. Before we get started, if you haven't already seen the ultimate guide video that we brought out for the round of 16, that came out on Friday. That will be linked at the end of this video. We include the target fixtures, some clean sheet odds, some of the best picks as well from each team. So make sure you go and watch that if you haven't already. Again, it will be linked at the end of this video. But of course today is a Monday, which means we are doing the team selection. Of course, is a full day and a half-ish before the actual deadline, so this team isn't confirmed, but this is essentially what I'm going to be doing. The only thing that would happen is maybe one or two changes. So let's jump straight into things and get on to the goalkeeper. So in goals, I'm picking two of the cheaper options. I've got the Real Madrid goalkeeper Lunin, and I've got the Inter Milan keeper Jan Sommer. So reasoning for going for these guys, I think I personally just really wanted to go for some cheaper goalkeepers that I think are going to progress, and I feel like these two are kind of there. I don't really want to be making goalkeeper transfers for the second leg or for the quarterfinals. So if you haven't seen the ultimate guide video already, Lunin does seem to be the new number one goalkeeper over Kepa for Real Madrid. Obviously we all know about Sommer. Sommer was probably one of the most popular goalkeepers in the group stages. Inter are very, very high on the clean sheet odds probability, so I think he's a very, very good option. Plus he plays after Lunin as well, so I think Lunin away game to Leipzig probably won't keep a clean sheet, but if he can get some saves then great. But obviously we do have Sommer as that backup there, so for me personally I just wanted two cheaper goalkeepers so I could look to the more expensive players when looking at the outfield players. Now for the defence is somewhere I'm a little less settled with all of the players. I've started off with Hakimi, I've got Ruben Diaz, I've got Kim, Rico Lewis, and I've got Maatsen as well. Now Hakimi is someone I've got because purely I had 6.2 million in the bank to use. I think he was the last player that I put in, and I don't really know if I want him or not. I'm between I can basically go for any defender, and again PSG are quite high on the clean sheet odds. Hakimi has obviously came back from AFCON and done quite well for PSG. We do know how well he can do, especially for attack and returns, and I think PSG will go through. So he's just one of those guys who's in there right now. I did have Gabriel before that, but I think I'd rather have Gabriel for the home game against Porto rather than an away game, so it's a possible transfer I can make. Ruben Diaz, another one. With the City team, we just don't really know how Pep's going to line up. We did see him in his interview yesterday say that there might be some rotations. Thankfully we do see the lineups for City though, which is a big advantage because I think a lot of people are going to be wanting 4 City players anyway. So again, if it comes to the deadline and Ruben Diaz isn't playing, then I can easily just take him out, and it doesn't harm me in any way. Kim, again, Bayern are second for the clean sheet odds, very high chance of a clean sheet against Lazio, and again, if you've seen the ultimate guide video, Kim is very, very high on ball recoveries, so should be looking at an extra 2 or 3 points there with him as well. Rico Lewis, someone who has started in all of Man City's group stage games. Again, he is someone I'm not absolutely 100% on because I don't know if he is going to continue to play as the later stages go on. I don't know if Pep would rather play his absolute 100% strongest team, so we may see Lewis get benched, but again, thankfully we see the lineups, so if he's playing he'll be there. Then I've got Maatsen as well. Again, I probably would have preferred Hummels, but I didn't have the budget for it, but Maatsen has been doing absolutely brilliantly. He does have more of an attacking threat than Hummels does have chances of assists and goals as well, and again, ball recoveries are quite good, at least in the Bundesliga anyway, and he is averaging 7, so he's in there at 4.5 million. Again, kind of a cheap defence, not really any big boys standing out there apart from Hakimi, because we are trying to just focus all the money on the attack and midfield. So taking up the midfield spots, we're starting off with Saka. Again, someone I think is probably essential when looking at around the 16 team. I think he has been in very, very good form since coming back from Christmas. Just scored 2 goals again at the weekend. And I do think a game against Porto, even the away game could be quite well, but mainly the home fixture in the second leg you're going to want him for. So I've got him in there. Again, highest scoring Arsenal player this season. So I think he definitely definitely should be there, and again, very high chance of progressing into the next round. I've got Phil Foden in there. Would personally prefer Kevin De Bruyne, but again, budget just doesn't really work for that. I'd have to downgrade probably 2 other players just to fit him in. So we do have Foden right now, again, someone who's played in every game. And I do think he could do quite well. I've got Lamine Yamal, someone who's 7.4 million for Barcelona. Not the easiest fixture against Napoli. He could end up being someone that I have to transfer out if Barca get knocked out. But I think for 7.4 million, he does look very good. He does play right wing for Barcelona and has played 90 minutes for basically the last 5 or 6 games as well, so he is absolutely nailed on, and he doesn't really get subbed either, so you are guaranteeing yourself a full game out of him. He did score 2 goals at the weekend as well, which makes him an even better pick. I had him in my team before that, and now I'm even more confident with him, so quite happy with him. I've got Çalhanoğlu in there, again set piece taker for Inter Milan. I did want to have at least one Inter player in there, the outfield, except for Sommer of course. They are favourites to go through against Atletico, and I think if anyone's going to be involved in the goals, it's probably going to be him. Again, I think there's some decent options out there. You've got like Thuram, you've got Lautaro Martinez, maybe Mkhitaryan as well, but for me, I wanted to go for the set piece taker. That's why Çalhanoğlu's in here. And then finally, we've got 5.3 million. We've got Zaire Emery for PSG. He is the highest scoring PSG player in UCL Fantasy this year. Has picked up 2 Player of the Match awards so far over the group stages. And I think at 5.3 million, it is an absolute bargain. He is playing every game for PSG as well. And I think you can't really say no to that. I do think he is going to be one of the hidden gems that a lot of players go for. That a few people aren't going to have any idea about him, so he's in there. I think he could do quite well. Let's jump into the strikers. And then wrapping things up with the front 3 is where most of the budget has went. We have went for Haaland, Mbappe and Kane. Again, 3 players I think should progress to the next round, and I think, in my opinion, 3 players that should do the best in terms of the strikers. Haaland's playing against Copenhagen, of course, that is the captaincy for the first night. Mbappe against Real Sociedad. I don't think it's as easy as a game as they say it is on paper, but Mbappe is Mbappe. He's one of the best players in the world, and I do think he could do very well in that game. Then, of course, Harry Kane against Lazio. Again, I don't think Bayern are doing as well as most people expected to, but they've kind of been at that level all season, and they've still done really well in the group stages. So for me, I think Bayern should comfortably take care of Lazio, and if anyone's going to be involved in the goals, it's going to be Harry Kane. So the captains for this week then, we do have the dates up here. Again, if you can see, the budget is 1.2 million over budget. Obviously you can see just below me I've got the team value at 106.3, so in my team I'm saving 0.1 million here, like I've got 0.1 in the bank available. But so looking at the captaincies, of course Haaland is going to be the first captain against Copenhagen. For the second day, it's between Kane and Mbappe. I think that could be quite a difficult one, and I think that's probably a reason why we see a lot of people only go with one of those guys, because you're only going to get to captain one of them. For me, I think personally I'm going to go for Mbappe, because it's the home fixture against PSG, Real Sociedad. Kane has the away fixture, so I think for the second leg I'm going to go for Harry Kane, and then Mbappe can just sit as normal. So I think it's going to be Haaland for me on Tuesday, it's going to be Mbappe on Wednesday. On the 20th of February is where I don't really have a big captain. That is why Hakan Çalhanoğlu is in there. I do only have Çalhanoğlu, Maatsen and Sommer playing that day. So again, another reason why Çalhanoğlu is in there, another reason why I did want an Inter player. I feel like there isn't really too many good options there, like you're getting a Dortmund or PSV player, or you're picking an Inter or an Atletico player, so I think either way, that captaincy's not going to stay your captain. But if it gets to the unlikely point where Haaland's blanked, Mbappe's blanked, I'm on to Çalhanoğlu, and then he ends up blanking as well, I do have Saka as the last captain against Porto, which I would be pretty confident about anyway. So that is the 4 captaincies. We're going for Haaland, we're going for Mbappe, we're going for Çalhanoğlu, and we're going for Saka. And that is going to wrap up this week's team selection video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Again, the ultimate guide video will be linked here in a couple of seconds. It will come up on the screen, so make sure you go and watch it if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, because we do lots of regular UCL fantasy content as the weeks come by. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.